Welcome to Target 60, where we review the playability of computer hardware. Today we are taking another look at the NVIDIA GTX 750 Ti, a card we ruled last week had little playability left in it after scoring a 50% playability score when paired with a Ryzen 1800X in our 2017 testing methodology. At the end of that video, we concluded that the 750 Ti, despite our testing, remains very popular, and perhaps the reason why is because it's the perfect budget card for esport games. Your typical esport game is not that graphically intensive, and spoiler alert, this card really shines among the 8 games we tested, games which we were segmenting into 2 suites. The first suite consists of action esport titles such as Rocket League, CSGO, Smite, and Paladins, with the second suite consisting of more strategy-driven esport titles such as League of Legends, StarCraft II, DOTA 2, and Heroes of the Storm. We also derived a new esports playability methodology to rate the 750 Ti and other future budget cards we come across, as these games tend not to be very demanding. For our esports playability testing methodology, we only test the games at the highest quality settings with anti-aliasing enabled when possible, and find the most demanding sections of each game to benchmark. The esports test system consists of a Core i3-2120 featuring 2 cores and hyperthreading, running at 3.3 GHz along with 8 GB of DDR3. We feel it is a good representation of a budget-aimed esports system with a total base system cost of $100 if you know how to bargain hunt, $120 to $150 if you don't. The i3-2120 can be picked up for around $30, sometimes less, and a decent LGA 1155 motherboard and 8GB RAM combo will cost you another $70 to $100. Toss in a 300 to 400 watt PSU, a case, and a hard drive, our $50 750 Ti along with the free version of Windows 10, and you're looking at a total system cost of about $200. The i3-2120 is locked unfortunately and won't overclock, but it runs cool even on the stock cooler. We never saw the temperatures above 58°C or 156 Fahrenheit, even when running IDA 64. The 750 Ti we picked up for $50 shipped to our door, and this dual fan version saw the temperatures hover around 60°C or 140°F under our game testing. With the esport games, we also never saw a real CPU bottleneck, even with the i3-2120 being released nearly 10 years ago. In fact, it was the 750 Ti that seemed to be holding back our little i3-2120 here. So if you continue to play these games and decide to upgrade to say a 1050 Ti in the future, you can continue to save your pennies and have the i3-2120 power along. The 1050 Ti though is capable of playing modern games at 1080p with great playability scores, as we saw in our very first video. I'll provide a link above. So you may still consider updating your CPU at that point in order to take advantage of the performance offering of the 1050 Ti and enjoy some new games. Playability-wise, the 750 Ti excelled with our eSport test suite, scoring 109 FPS and 97% playability on the action games. On the strategy-based esport games, the 750 Ti scored 83 frames per second at 95% playability, a much stronger improvement over the 2017 playability testing methodology we saw last week, and clearly a segment of the market where this card excels. The price to playability ratio really shows just how good this card is in the esports segment. We picked up this 750 Ti for $50 shipped to our door, and to have more data points, we ran the same games against the 1050 Ti to gauge what kind of value you are getting with this nearly 6-year-old card. So remember that this channel is not about frame rates, it's about consistency of experience when playing games with your hardware. And if all you're after is a playable, over 60 consistent experience in esport titles, the 750 Ti offers nearly 3 times the value of a 1050 Ti. For $50, you get a card that matches the playability experience of the 1050 Ti, whose price in this chart at $150 is not really representative if you are thinking of buying this card today. We paid $150 for this card several months ago, but with the mining craze and recent memory shortages, the prices of 1050 Ti's are now around $170, even $180, which really hurts the value this card can provide to the esports segment. So quite the comeback for the 750 Ti this week when looking at our esports playability test suite, and we at Target 60 have no qualms recommending it if all you're looking to do is enjoy some esports style games. If you have more ambitious intentions, please watch our previous video on the 750 Ti, which features a much more modern playability test suite and paints a rather bleak picture for the card. We hope you enjoyed this video. Consider subscribing and like this video if you want to see more in the esports playability series.